Back at it with another gym video, guys. In this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about how getting in the gym and finally getting the physique of my dreams actually gave me the freedom to be who I wanted to be. And that sounds pretty bad because it sounds like the way I hear it, it sounds like, oh, well, I guess the only way you can really get to be yourself is if you get in the gym first. And unless you get in the gym and get the physique of your dreams, you can't really love yourself or love who you are or be who you are. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about for me. You can love who you are, whatever you want to do in life, whoever you want to be, go do it, bro, and be happy at the end of the day. Do what you want to do. That's mainly what I've learned. For me, I couldn't get to the point of truly, being who I was and loving who I was until I got a physique. Before I got a physique, before I got lean and aesthetic, I had a lot of hard times balancing whether or not to be myself or to be somebody that somebody else would want me to be. Before I got a physique and before I got really any true confidence in myself, when I would go out, hang with friends, or anything in that nature, I would do things that they would do. Things that I wasn't raised to do, things that just weren't aligned with who I was. It just spiritually wasn't aligned with who I was. But I would do it anyways, all for the sake of having friends, maintaining friends, having relationships, maintaining relationships. I was in a state where I really couldn't be who I wanted to be or do whatever I wanted to do. Fast forward later, here we are now. I have so much confidence in myself. I love who I am. I don't want to do anything I don't want to do. I don't want to be around anybody I don't want to be around. I simply live life on my own terms as far as in just doing what I want to do. And if something doesn't sound right or something is weird to me, I'm going to be my authentic, genuine self and remove myself or call it for what it is. When I mean by call it for what it is, I mean not calling somebody out and be like, "Hey, bro, that shit you did was lame, bro." I'm not doing that, bro. I just sit there, I observe, and I be like, "Oh, I see how he moving. Oh, I see how she moving. Oh, I see how they moving. I got it." And then based on how they moving, I now have the ability to make a decision to position myself to where I can be most spiritually aligned to what I want for my life, which is to me being at peace and being fulfilled. Getting the physique of my dreams, becoming aesthetic, gave me the confidence to do that, essentially. You know, I wasn't very much desired. Anytime that I would have an opportunity to make friends or be in a relationship or whatever the case may be, you know, I put on my best performance. I was very performative, and that's what we do when we have relationships. And I just realize it now. Like, to some degree, we always will be performative because people will know you for, say, for example, being your friend, but they won't know you as if you may be a father. They won't know how you are as a son. They won't know how you are as a friend, as a partner, or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? There are some people that will get the true, authentic version of you, but to some degree, everybody in your life isn't going to truly see you for who you really are. So I'm not saying to just show up for work and just start acting like how you want to act and start saying what you want to say or anything like that, or that's what's going to be the case whenever you get this physique or whenever you get in shape. No, you're going to have the discernment, you're going to have the wisdom as far as in knowing, okay, when I'm around this area, I have to perform very much, quite often, be something that I don't. And what I've chosen to do is anything where I have to perform or anything that pulls me away from being my most genuine, authentic self, I'm just simply not going to do it. For give you guys an example, I didn't feel spiritually aligned with being in the army. I served in the army. I was in the army for 7 years, and there was nothing necessarily pushing me out. I could have stayed in, retired, got the full benefits, and all that jazz that everybody talks about. But I felt like every single time I was going to work, I was performing. I was having to be somebody in which I wasn't, and I had to be around people. And that's another thing, bro. Everybody does it, and so whenever you're the one person that says, "Nah, I'm not performing. I'm not doing that extra shit," bro, you kind of like start to be an outcast. You don't fit in anymore. But I'm gonna let you guys know something. Like when you get a cold physique, those days of fitting in are over. Because I don't want to do anything I don't want to do, because I don't want to be performative, because I got a physique, or because I do what most people just simply don't, I'm an out. You're gonna be an outcast. You're going to be an outcast, and that's okay. That's something that the younger me feared the most. But now here I am, having the physique, having the look, loving who I am, how I present myself. Me initially starting, I was like, man, I can't wait to get in shape because, oh my God, I'm gonna have so many girls, I'm gonna have so many friends, I'm gonna have so much motion, yada, yada, yada. You could, if you're willing to be performative, if you're willing to continue to not be yourself, if you're willing to continue, if relationships and all that stuff is very, very important, you'll do the things necessary to keep those things. And so now here I am with this physique where I love who I am. I know I don't fit in. I don't want to fit in. I like where I stand as an outcast. I know a lot of people probably look at me and admire me, or I inspire some sort of people. And I know if people had their choice, they would want to have some of the things that I've gotten. And what I mean by that is just getting a cold physique, bro. If you could wake up with abs one day, shredded, jacked, whatever the case may be, bro, I'm pretty sure 99% of the people will choose to do it. Like, yeah, let me try it out for the day. And after they try it out for the day, they're going to become addicted. They're not going to give it up. They're not going to want to go back to their previous physique. And this video, this channel it started because it's to focus and emphasize how powerful the physique is, how powerful getting in shape is, how powerful getting lean is. It changes your entire life. And you guys are trying to say, like, nah, it doesn't change. You haven't gotten there, bro. I'm not lying. You guys can't tell me about my experiences. I've lived through them. If you don't believe me, okay, cool. Why would I need to get on here on live for? I made this channel, came onto this YouTube space because it's a safe space. Don't nobody that's watching these videos, nobody know me. So I don't know anybody that's watching these videos. You don't know, but so I have no reason to lie. Basically, bro, when I got that physique, bro, and I started liking what I seen in the mirror, bro, I initially internally started telling myself I'm that nigga, bro. That I don't need anybody, any relationship to validate who I am. Bro, I can go ghost for years, bro. Not be seen, not be heard of, and I'll be fine, bro. People don't want to be forgotten or don't want to go ghost, and they fear missing out because they fear being forgotten. They fear being forgotten. They fear not being seen. When you get a physique, bro, you're just gonna be so comfortable with being seen, so comfortable with people looking at you in awe, being inspired. Because walking around with a lean, cold physique is like I said in my previous video, it's like you're a dragon. It's like you're a rarity. Like I love that show Game of Thrones, bro. And that's one of the things. That's the only part I cared about in the show is, bro, where's them dragons at, bro? I love them dragons, bro. Them dragons is powerful, and so when you got a cold physique, you walking around like a fucking dragon, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your life starts to be consistently of women checking you out, guys looking at you, feeling envious of you, envious towards you, guys feeling inspired by you, people being speechless when they see you at the pool and you everybody else's physique is kind of like average, but like I said, you're an outcast. So if it's 100 people at the pool party and you show up and you got this cold physique, you know what I'm saying, automatically you're gonna stand out and all the attention is just gonna be on you and you don't even have to say a word. Don't let you be out here outside too. Go to the pool party or the beach with some of your friends, bro, and they got some cold physiques too, bro. At that point, it's like y'all, it's like a power up. It's like double the aura. If it's three of y'all, it's like triple the aura. It's like the aura can be felt through the entire city, bro. It's like they feel your aura and you ain't even like they ain't even seen you yet. They just get a sense. They just like, I feel like it's some cold motherfuckers up in here. What are you? And then all of a sudden, here they come, bro. I cannot count how many times like where me and my homies, bro, would walk into an establishment looking lean, looking good, looking cut, bro. Walking in there and then just like seeing people take a pause or seeing people literally pause on whatever they're doing, feel the energy, feel the presence, feel the aura, look over and then be, you know, inspired or and deeply admired by it. So like when you live a life like that and you're so used to being seen, you start to be like, man, I don't really care for this shit, bro, because when you start getting the confidence that I don't need to be seen, I'm being myself. All I got to do is just show up and you know what I'm saying, do my thing. And these people that you're going to get attention to or attention from, you're going to realize that they can't be in your essence. They can't be in your aura. You get what I'm saying? The things that you do, the way you look at life is literally not a normal way of thinking, a normal perspective. It's not common. And when people like want to get close to you, they will quickly find out, and you will quickly find out that you guys are just not spiritually aligned. While you're over here moving, you know what I'm saying, used to getting attention, not pressing the issue, just being who you are, you're going to notice when there's going to be people around you that do things for attention, that do things to be performative, to be recognized, to give out, to do things to get people to like them. And because of that, you're going to realize that most of the people in the world are like that. But since you're not like that, you are not going to want to be around them and want to do certain things like that with them. You're going to be able to tell, like, in a friend group that these girls don't really like each other. They're just hanging out with each other just so that they can be somebody that looks normal, because it's normal to have friends and to be outside and do all this stuff and clubbing and traveling, right? But they do that all just so society can recognize them and say, oh yeah, you fit in. Oh yeah, you must be a cool person. Oh yeah. They want that pat in the back. They want that recognition from society. But deep down, they know the truth that they hate doing what they do. They go on vacation with their girls, they homegirls, or you may go they go on their vacation or something with their homeboys or something like that. You're supposed to be out having a good time. But then you leave the vacation, you leave the spot, you leave the hangout spot, and you just be like, oh, I'm finally glad that it's over. Oh my gosh, I can't stand that shit, bro. I hate it when they do. Hate it. But every single time the opportunity arises for you to go and sign up and go be back into that area or be in that atmosphere, they always hit that like, oh, well, I gotta go hang out with them. I gotta go hang out with my friends. I gotta go fit in. They're my friends. I don't like hanging out with them, but I'm gonna go anyways because, I don't wanna be alone. Because if I'm alone, people are gonna think I'm a loser. They're gonna think I'm this. They're gonna think I'm that. When you get a cold physique, you're not thinking like that. You're not thinking like that. He like, bro, that nigga weird, bro. I'm not hanging with that bitch ass nigga no more, bro. That chick, she got too many issues going on. She trying to get me to do too much. She be doing too much. She be messing up my vibe. I'm trying to have peace and like she bringing more drama, bro. I'm good off her, bro. I just move on to that. Bro, you have no problem just moving on, bro. You're fine being by yourself, bro. You fine being by yourself. Straight like that. I went from a guy before getting the physique, bro, who hated being by bro. When I was in high school, bro, I was cooked, bro. I was super shy, super introverted, didn't make friends, bro. Every single weekend, bro, I used to be at home and just be playing video games all day, every day. That's what I like to do. But there was a sense of me where even though I like that's what I like to do, there was a sense of me that was ashamed of it because I remember there was one time that I was being honest and transparent, didn't give a fuck, bro. I really don't know why. Well, I know why I didn't have any confidence in myself, but I remember telling somebody had asked me like, "Josh, what do you do on the weekends?" I'm like, "Nah," because they was trying to make fun of me and be like, "Josh, I feel like you a lame ass nigga, bro. I feel like you be at home playing video games and you don't be popping out doing shit." And that's exactly right, bro. In high school and middle school, that's all I did, bro. The few friends I had, bro, that's all we did, bro, is we just said, hey, bro, come to my house and we gonna play 2K, bro. And we just play 2K all day. We go outside, maybe shoot some hoops, and then come right back inside, play some more 2K, bro. Play Call of Duty, whatever the case may be, bro. I love that. Why? Is because it was me being at peace. I didn't have to be around people, bro. But I remember telling that girl who asked me, hey, what are you doing on the weekend? And she was like, oh, you have no life. You're boring and stuff like that. And so deep down inside, I was like, damn, am I boring? Damn, do I not have a life? Damn, am I I start asking myself, and then all of a sudden I said, damn, I guess it is right because everybody else doesn't do this. Everybody else is always out having a good time, talking to girls, being around people, shit like that, right? And so I deeply started feeling insecure about who it is that I was. When I got this physique, I started realizing and embracing the fact that I'm just different and I'm not going to try and be something that I'm not because I've tried that hanging around with people, being outside, being at the scene, yada, yada, yada. And every single time after I'm done with it, bro, it's like I done went through a fucking, I don't know. It's like I went through it's like I went through a grueling workout that I don't ever want to go back and return or put myself through again. That's what it's like for me. You know how some dudes don't want to go to the gym because it's hard and it's difficult? That's like me when it comes to hanging out with people, especially when I know they don't really give a fuck about me and we just outside just to keep up with the Joneses, just to look like we doing something, just to look like we ain't some lambs and we actually outside. When I know, like, at the end of the day, like, when it comes down to it, if I really was down on my ass, I was really off my feet, and I really needed somebody to help pick me up. I know these niggas is not gonna be here to help me out. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But in all actuality, bro, I got a cold physique, bro. I have no problem getting attention from women. But yet, I live a life of solitude. I live a life where I prioritize my peace because I don't want to do something that I don't want to do. And I am embracing who I am, and I'm starting to realize that the more that I'm myself, my authentic self, the most likely I'll be able to attract ones into my life that love me for being me. You know what I mean? And I don't want to place power or emphasis in areas of my life in which I just don't want to. A lot of people look on people's social medias to say, oh, let me see how worthy or valuable this guy is. Let me look at his Instagram. Let me look at this. Let me look at that. All these superficial. Let me look at his car. Let me look at his house. Let me see what the materialistic things he has. And then that'll tell me the type of person this person is. You know what I'm saying? I've realized that those people that have all those nice things, that showcase it, that really make it do go through extreme lengths to be performative, bro, I have a different perspective on them now. It's because I look at social media and I'm like, guys, we have all the things that we have. And if you're truly happy for all the things that you have, why do you feel like you have to consistently post it and showcase it to the world? You get what I'm saying? Why is it like a contest to see who can one up each other? You know what I mean? When you see those kids, and so me, my perspective, that's me watching the kids play their little game or whatever. That game that's not really important. You know how parents, you know what I'm saying, they didn't give a fuck about what they kids was doing as far as in playing. It's like go out there and just go play and do whatever. And the shit that the kids was worried about, they come and tell them they'll tell the parents like, but Billy did this and did it. But you already know, like as a grown man, like the parents really don't give a fuck about what them kids got going on, man. Just hey, go over there, do whatever you got to do. Don't do some shit that's gonna disrupt this peace in here. You get what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at like people that's out there performing and shit like that, doing things to fit in. And I just realized that, bro, fitting in is lame, bro. I don't want to be like everybody else. If I was like everybody else, I'd be right there with them. Not having confidence in myself, doing things to be performative, to get people to validate who I am, me not truly being happy about certain things or happy about certain experiences unless other people are happy for me or can say, oh yeah, man, that's actually cool, that's actually a cool thing you did, or whatever the case may be. You know, always constantly looking for the future, when the next big up is going to be, when the next big highlight is going to be, so I can showcase and broadcast it to the world, bro. Like, I just don't want to live life like that, gang. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to live life where it's just like I wake up, I sip on my coffee, I drink my water, I do my shit, I stay out the way, and I stay happy, bro. I stay drama free. I don't have anxiety. I don't worry about what people are thinking about me. I just stay out the way, do my own thing, bro. Doing whatever I gotta do to make sure that my frequency is where it is. And the only way I was able to do that is when I started getting a cold physique, bro. When you get a cold physique, bro, all those things that you wish or you yearn for from the external, from the public, bro, you're just gonna naturally gain whenever you get a cold physique. And what you're going to find out is that you can have all the attention in the world, you can have all the materialistic things in the world, you can look like that guy, whatever the case may be, but you will never be fulfilled by the external. You never will be fulfilled by how much attention you get. Never. Because when I first started getting a lot of attention, uh based on how my physique looked and how I presented myself and just being able to attract a lot of women and just attract a lot of people. I'm not saying like attracting men, because I'm not messing with men or anything like that, but I'm saying you attract men because men they automatically show respect for you. They see what you do. They ask questions. They say, hey, what do you do? Da, 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 da. They seem more intrigued by you. So that's what I mean by being able to attract men and women, attract all people. But ever since I've done that, one time I used to get, initially, I'm not gonna lie, I used to get a high. I used to get really happy and excited. I'm like, dang, bro, that chick right there was checking me out, and she was bad as fuck, bro. And that's the thing about it, bro, is that when you start having the ability to pull more people in, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have more options available, and there is gonna be some sort of satisfaction of being like, dang, bro, I remember I was doing this back in high school, but looking at me now, bro, look at this chick that I got on my arm. Look at how I'm looking. Look at my clothes. Look at how I'm just looking. Look at me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Look at where I used to be and look at where I'm at right now. There is some sort of that going on, and but like I said, it eventually runs out, or it will never fulfill you, in a sense of, okay, I've been with this bad chick, but when the next bad chick coming, when the next moment gonna happen, like, why she ain't looking at me, why they ain't but push, and then when you start getting into that mindset of where I know I'm attractive, I know I'm this, I know I'm that, I should be pulling, I should be this and that. And then you start having expectations on the external when you start walking in and you start being like, dang, why she ain't, I want her, but why she ain't looking at me like the most girls? And then it starts messing with your head. You start putting who you are based on how other people treat you. You're like, dang, bro, maybe that girl, she didn't. You start having this expectation that everybody's the same and that everybody's gonna start treating you different. And so you kind of like have this expectation of getting the attention, expectation of getting attraction, whatever the case may be. This expectation of getting with these women, and expectation of you getting this opportunity or whatever the case may be. And I'm gonna let you know, no matter how cold of a physique you get or how great you present yourself, you're always going to be faced with rejection. You're never going to be faced. Life just doesn't go easy coasting. You just get whatever you want from then on. It definitely improves, but there still is that percentage or that portion, that ratio where the external is not going to validate who you are. So when you getting high off of getting the attention, that's feeding your ego. Your ego can never be fulfilled. Your ego is always thirsty. Your ego can get fulfilled temporarily, as far as in like, oh man, say for example, you go out, right? You get with a girl, you pull her, you do whatever the case may be. Your ego feels really high. You know what I'm saying? You're like, man, I'm the man. And then let's say like a couple weeks, month go by, or whatever the case may be, that cool, happy moment that you had no longer hits the same. You get what I'm saying? And so now you're looking for the next moment and you're wanting it for it to come again. And then sometimes you're like, all right, where's that moment at? And then when it doesn't come when you expect it to come, or whenever that door is closed and it's like, nah, I'm not messing with you, your ego will kind of start thinking like, oh, bro, we've been able to get with these girls, this, that. Why this girl? It must be because of us. We must be coming off lame or something. And so it'll cause you to kind of do this. It's a terrible feeling. Do this psycho, super analytical, where you're just observing everything and trying to get, like, I should have gotten her number. I should have attracted her. They shouldn't have left me on my red. So why did they? Let me study it. There's got to be a reason why, because if 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 the reason can't be because I'm not handsome, it can't be because I'm not attractive, it can't be because what's the reason? What's the reason? And sometimes you'll just never know. And what'll happen is because you won't know, you'll start to drive yourself insane, because then you're just like, bro, the only way I felt good is when people was patting me on the back and recognizing me, this and that. But now, today, for some reason, people ain't checking me out. People ain't responding. Like, what's going on? And you automatically think it has a lot to do with you. And then that messes up your frequency. And then you go from feeling like the man to feeling ass, all just because some girl who probably had a bad day, who probably ain't worried about you, you pulled up on her. She's happy at home. She got a whole boyfriend or a whole marriage, and she's like, yeah, you're an attractive guy, but this man that I'm with, she probably got another attractive guy, probably a guy that looks better than you, probably has a cold personality, probably cool as hell. She probably loves the connection, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you something, guys. No matter how great you look or whatever the case may be, the most important thing is how you make people feel. You know what I'm saying? If you can be the most attractive guy, whatever the case may be, but if you don't make certain people feel the way that they want to feel or whatever the case may be, it's not going to work. People will reject you. People will close doors. And what you got to do is have confidence in yourself to be on, like, you know what, bro? Like, it is what it is. I can't win them all, you know? And when you have that, when you finally adopt that and being like, you know what, let me stop performing, let me stop basing my confidence and how I feel about myself based on whether I'm getting choosing signals, based on whether somebody gets back with me, based on if somebody, offers me a job opportunity or whatever the case may be. You know, you gotta have that confidence in yourself that, you know what I'm saying, whatever fuck happening on the external ain't gonna affect what's happening on the internal. And so when you get a cold physique, you have to realize, you be like, man, I know I'm him, bro. I know I am him. I've had multiple iterations of the external validating me. You don't need to use the external as a reason for you, but you just got to be like, bro, I can look at myself in the mirror and I'm choosing to see what I'm seeing, bro. I'm a cold motherfucker, bro. I got a cold physique, whatever the case may be. I'm feeling good. I'm looking good. Can't nobody tell me squat. And so once you get that ingrained to your mind to where it's just like, bro, I don't need anybody to pay attention to me. I don't need it because I was like, I'm no longer living this cycle of wanting and or yearning for attention or whatever the case may be. I'm realizing how it never fulfills me. So that's where I'm at now, where I'm kind of living like a life of solitude where I'm not chasing after women. I'm not demon. I don't have any. I only have YouTube. I don't have social media like that. You get what I'm saying? I don't be online just because what I would do online is, it say for example, if I wanted to get external validation, post something, and then I'm gonna be thinking like, I posted this. I think this physique looks cool, or I think this experience, or this is whatever, this photo looks cool. Why doesn't everybody else think it's cool? Is it really not cool? What's going on? I've said fuck that process, bro. I'm not doing that shit no more. If something looks cool to me, or if I like something, I'm not about to send it or show it to anybody and get an opinion on it, because I am choosing to allow myself to say, hey, what it is, and then moving on. I've realized that the most important perspective, or the most important person's thought, is your own. If you think it's cold, if whatever you think, you're right at the end of the day. Because whatever you think, you're going to look through the lens where you try to prove yourself right. If you think like, oh man, I lack confidence, I don't get girls because I'm this and I'm that, you coming in with that lack of confidence, you coming in with that perspective. When you start living life, you're not going to be looking at the great things that life has to offer you, the things that you have worried going for you. What you're going to focus on, oh man, if that girl rejects me, that's just going to prove my point that I'm just a lame, or whatever the case may be. And so, man, yeah, bro, I can go on for days about this, dog. But that is the story of how I ended up getting to a point where I no longer want to perform for anybody. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? And I like what I see. I like who I am. If my 15-year-old self can look at my now 28-year-old self, I would be like, damn, boy, you doing your thing, gang. I can't wait till that's me, bro. That's what I'm going to be like. Oh, ain't nobody going to tell me shit, bro. I can't wait. That's what my 15-year-old self would say, bro. Straight like that. So I'm sitting there thinking like, bro, if that's how I view myself, why do I started realizing, I'm like, the reason why I feel like it's not enough is because I'm placing other people's opinion above my own. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of like how a way where I kind of got back on track as far as in being who I am, and realizing that, bro, when you get a cold physique, you become so much more aware of people. People are going to mess with you if they really mess with you, bro. Like me, I'm sitting here now saying, bro, I'm not trying to get with this one. I'm not trying, like, no woman can validate me or make me feel good. I have truly found out that the only way I can feel fulfilled with myself is when I choose to. I can get with the baddest chick in the world right now, but for some reason, I probably, in the midst of that, I will find some sort of way to still feel like something's missing, or I'm not enough, or I'm lacking in some sort of area. Because external, the world is constantly changing. You get what I'm saying? People may be like, oh my gosh, who is you? You Josh. And then every single or who you're that guy, or whatever the case may be. And then the next day, when they ain't doing it, are you still gonna believe it? Are you still gonna think it's true? Or is your belief going to be in alignment with of the external? The external is always changing. People will come show you love one day, be happy, energetic mood, and then there'll be some days where they not moving with you and they ain't giving you the recognition and stuff like that. And you kind of like got to sit there and remind yourself, like, bro, I'm still him. You get what I'm saying? I don't need people to pay attention to me. I've had plenty of people paying attention, and I know I'm worthy of attention. I know I'm this. I know who I am. Whether or not they choosing today or not doesn't matter. I'm still him. And that's something that I want to kind of like warn you guys, because this was something that was a little bit later in my physical fitness journey that I had to find out and learn. When I'm just on this channel, I'm really talking about kind of like what beginners are to expect. But I'm going to let you know that this, I guess to summarize the entire video is that work out, get a clean, cold physique because you want to. And when I got that cold physique, bro, I started realizing that there's nothing with who I am, because if you're a guy that people like, bro, or whatever the case may be, they'll choose to mess with you. And I realized that, you know, going back to that time when I was in middle school where that girl, she said, oh, you ain't got no life, you this or that. What I should have done was like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about what the fuck you think. Who are you? I don't give a fuck about you. Who are you? Who cares about your opinion? You get what I'm saying? I'm at peace. I'm living my life. I'm doing my thing. I'm focused on me. I'm not worried about you. Why are you worried about me? You get what I'm saying? I'm doing stuff that makes me happy. Why are you over there hating? Why are you over there worried about, you know what I'm saying, whether I got a lot? You don't know what I do. That's what I should have said. But what did I do? I said, she's right, bro. I am a lame. I was just, man, if I could go tell my youngest, I'll never forget that, bro. I think I was like 14 or 13 years old. I was in middle school. And when that, I probably was 12, actually. I think I was in the 7th grade. I remember when that girl said that, bro. And I remember how it made me feel, so much to the point to where 15 years later, I still remember it, bro. That girl's name, her name was Cheyenne, bro. Never forget her, bro. I was short, shy, skinny. She was super tall, blonde hair, blue eyed. She's like one of the most popular girls in the school. And so for her to say that to me, I was like, well, she's popular. She got motion. She got shit going on. So I guess she must be right. And then I instantly started saying, well, if she thinks that about me, then I think everybody else thinks about me. Bro, I'm looking at those people from middle school. I'm looking at those people from high school, bro. And I'm just saying, like, bro, those fucking people are so cooked, bro. So cooked. So cooked. I would not want to trade places with them whatsoever. I now look back and being like, why was I trying to impress such a lame ass person, bro? Why was I trying to impress lame ass niggas, bro? Because when you become cold and you start getting confident and you really feel, like be like, yeah, I'm that nigga, bro. You start looking at the people who you used to fuck with or you used to care about, and you like, bro, y'all niggas is lame, bro. That's how crazy the growth is when you get a cold physique, bro. Is you start looking back at what you used to do, who you used to hang out with, who you used to care about, bro, you start looking back and just kind of like being in the discussion, like, how could I ever, bro? How could I ever? I was really in a frequency aligned with this. There is a point in time in my life where I loved being around these people. And it's all because that's what it was, bro. At that time, I was spiritually aligned. I was just like them at that time. But then when I decided to be better, more proud of who I am, I started realizing I started to transcend like all those low vibrational people, man. Yeah, bro. I'm gonna have to do another video, bro. I'm loving talking like this, man. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta lock in. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta be you, man. Be you. Life is too short. Don't live life performing, doing shit that you don't want to do. Always do what